Hello, I'm Michael Borlaug. I am the CEO of Capstone IT and the founder of TreasureCoastTop100.com. Here we are with Gary and Kelly Guttveg, and here we're talking with DreamWorks companies, and we're going to talk about entrepreneurship and what that, get some advice and learn from their many years of wisdom. So starting right off, because this is one of the things that people always ask about is, what is that one thing? What's the thing that really makes a company really be successful and power through times when things are a little bit difficult?
Okay, so for me, I would say one of the biggest things is having your employees buy into it, because they're an extension of you, and no matter what your core values are and belief, if your employees aren't buying into what it is that you're trying to deliver, then you're going to fail. So it's been an important thing, because I'm a firm believer in that businesses don't fail. It's people that are failing. So I strive to make sure my employees believe in that, and then Kelly can elaborate on our core values.
Yeah, I'd have to say the core values, as far as like the real estate office, I would have to say like ethics and customer service is what we strive for. When we first opened up this real estate company, we could have hired 100 or 500 agents, and it could have just been a numbers game for us, and we didn't want that. We wanted to make relationships and build on relationships and build a business on relationships and be that corner brokerage office where anybody can stop in and have a cup of coffee and chit chat and get to know us, and we can get to know them. Because I think when you have those relationships, the business just comes. So I think that's important, is relationships.
And when you're talking about your employees, you said many of them have been here for since they started. They've been here for 7, 10 years. I mean, whenever you see good core values. Not just what's on the wall, but what's practiced in the halls. I've heard before from somebody smart.
Sure.
That's you can see that in a company because people stay. So I think that's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I found interesting was how the DreamWorks companies. You have many different smaller companies underneath that big umbrella. And I think a lot of time entrepreneurs fail because they get shiny object syndrome and they go off in all these different directions and don't know how to make that work. So how did you diversify and make that successful into this company, DreamWorks Companies?
Right, so when I first started this company, going on our 11th year, I wanted to have just a small company, and down here in Florida I realized that I couldn't get the help and I couldn't rely on other people's employees. So I had to start hiring people and training them, and realizing that we had so many holes that we had to fill that we couldn't hire outside companies to do. So right away we started an electrical company, and then as we grew, we realized that we had a lot of issues coming up with water and mold on jobs. So then we started a mold restoration company, and then we had an opportunity to start an air conditioning company. And then just recently, last year, we started a plumbing division. So we felt that, as we kind of each year looked at identify the holes and weaknesses in our company, and just said that we're just going to do things in-house and we're going to be able to control it in this way. When we, as most people say, they have a one-stop shop, we kind of put one-stop shop a different saying to it, because we truly do everything in-house. So we try not to subcontract out our work. We have over 50 employees, and a lot of them are cross-trained to do different things. We have licenses in all of the companies that we have on staff. And it just basically allows us to deliver what it is that we're telling our customers that we're going to deliver. So training is a big part, because that's another thing down here that you don't really have a lot of. And so we put people through apprentice programs, and we also do a lot of internal training. And then when we started this DreamWorks Advantage, I'll let Kelly continue on with the DreamWorks Advantage.
Well, for the construction side of it, they call it the one-stop shop. We call it the DreamWorks Advantage. So anybody that uses DreamWorks Real Estate, our customers and clients have certified tradesmen at their fingertips, and we love it, because if we're showing a house and they love the house, but air conditioning makes a funny noise, or there's a crack in the ceiling, or maybe they think it's foundational, a crack in the floor, I can just go onto my phone and speed dial, and one of the guys will come and be there for me, and they'll explain everything to the customer And it's just been wonderful. I don't think there's another brokerage firm out there that does that. And so we really, we have that for our customers. It's the DreamWorks Advantage.
Or even, I think that'd be also too, is if they have trouble envisioning a big open space or whatever.
Right.
I mean, having a designer come in and say, well, here's some of the things you can do and help someone realize. I think that's really
and giving an
important.
estimate for what that might be, so they know ahead of time, is this something I want to get into or not.
So kind of that one-stop shop with the Advantage was really about controlling that quality and making sure that you have that. So that's something that entrepreneurs should be careful of, is making sure that you build that trust with quality work, products, what have you, to make sure that's all okay.
Exactly.
Right. And having them all be employees of the company is a plus too. No more subs. Nobody likes subs.
That's great. So one of the next pieces here I like to always talk about when you see a husband and wife team, and I know your kids work in the business as well, is you hear some of the, it's hard. You hear some people say it's just amazing, and you get to kind of it's like having kids. Some people are like, oh, kids are so difficult, and sometimes people are like, kids are awesome. Kind of talk about the relationship of working, as husband and wife, and having the kids come into the business. I mean, how is that? What are some of those challenges, but what also has that giving you an advantage too?
Right. So my wife, we just started the brokerage company about a year ago, so it's not like we've been doing this, for 11 years together. So her office is 3 miles away. I think one of the biggest things for me is not bringing it home at night and continuing on my day into my night, as far as tying it together. So, we try to work during the daytime and leave it there at night. And as my daughter's joined us over 5 years ago, and it's been pretty neat having her involved with the company and learning it. My son just joined about a year ago, and so he's still learning the business aspect of it. But the trust level, having eyes and ears, and knowing that this opportunity is for them, and it is. We have a lot of family members that work here, not our family members, but we consider them our family members. But husband and wife, and sons and fathers, and cousins and so forth. So we try to promote that family attitude. And we also, don't work on weekends through the construction company. So that's family time. So, but it is, once again, kind of neat having the husband and wife and kids involved with it. So.
Yeah, we're just blessed that they decided to graduate college and start roots in Martin County. So we get to see them all the time.
What a blessing.
Yeah, it is a blessing. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Kelly, Gary. This is awesome, for being on the Treasure Coast Top 100. So I always like to end this with, what's that one last piece of advice for an entrepreneur who's thinking about starting a business, or has just started a business and is trying to figure out how to make it work? I mean, what's that one last piece of advice you can give?
I would say number one for me is being honest with people, delivering what you say you're going to do, and just be the best you can be, and don't give up, because it is a lot of work. There's a lot of competition out there. Learn from your competitors, I think, has been really healthy for me as well. I've been in this business over 30 years. Learn something every day, but being involved in the community through the chambers and different things like that as well is very important, because you meet a lot of great people, and even if they're competitors, I think you see that there's a lot you can do together, in helping out. So
I would just say, don't give up. Don't be hard on yourself, because I think I was like that when I started in January. I was just like really hard on myself, and it was so easy for me to throw my hands up. But you have to remember that every small achievement, albeit small, I mean it's an achievement. It's a goal toward your next step, and I think like having confidence too in yourself. I think that we all know probably more than we think that we do, and I think that between that and just knowing that Rome wasn't built in a day. That was always like my mom's favorite saying to me, and just one step at a time.
Even when you stumble, one step at a time.
Absolutely. Well, stumbling is learning, so that's not a bad thing. So yeah, one step at a time.
Don't stumble too hard, but it's good to stumble too. So. And I like to say about that, because going out to lunch with, I do that. You never know when competitors can be a great partner.
That's right.
Project or whatever the case may be. So having a great relationship, even with your local competitors. I had someone smarter than me tell me that once before, and I really found that to be a great lesson. So that's a great piece of advice, both of you.
Appreciate it.
So thank you again.
Okay, thank you.
And,
Appreciate it.
if you would like to be on the TreasureCoastTop100.com, you can submit your name there. But thank you again, and look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Very good. Thank you.